In this video, we will learn direct speech versus reported speech, how and when to use them. What's the difference between direct speech and reported speech? The common denominator of the two is we use them when giving information or reporting about what was said by another person. Let's go deeper. Direct speech. Exact word or words of the speaker. Uses quotation marks. Uses comma to separate the main statement from the rest of the speech. No change in pronoun. No change in verb tense. Example. The sales lady said, "I sell more items than anyone else here." Here I am going to show you the main parts of a direct speech. Like what I've said earlier, we use quotation marks to enclose the direct statement of the speaker. In this sentence, we put the first quotation mark after the comma and the second one at the end of the statement, or after the period. Then we also have the comma placed right after the word said. You can use a variety of verbs here, like yelled, shouted, screamed, exclaimed, asked, told, etc. Okay, aside from said. Then the pronoun I, referring to the sales lady herself, since the person talking here was a sales lady. And finally, the verb sell in its simple present tense. Please take note of the verb tense because it plays a major role in reported speech. Another example. I sell more items than anyone else here, the sales lady said. This time, I inverted the statement here. I put the exact statement in front of the clause the sales lady said. Again, we use quotation marks to enclose the exact words of the speaker. The only difference here compared to the first sentence is that the comma was placed after the exact statement and is placed inside the quotation mark. Got it? Moving on. Another example. The manager said she sells more items than anyone else here. This example is almost alike with the first two, however, we made some changes in the perspective here. Again, the quotation marks and comma were placed in their appropriate places. Now take a look at the pronoun she. The pronoun here refers to someone, maybe a sales lady, who is being referred to by the manager. So this time, we have two persons here, the noun manager and the pronoun she. Next is the verb sells. Since she is a singular pronoun, it takes a singular verb in its simple present tense. Another example. She sold more items than anyone else here, the manager said. Another example here, but this time I would like you to take note of the verb which is in its simple past tense. Okay? That one. So, technically, direct speech use any verb tense here. It could be present or past or perfect tenses or even progressive tenses. Okay. Moving on. How about reported speech? Reported speech or speech is a reworded statement of the speaker. It never uses quotation marks, never uses comma to separate the main clause from the rest of the statement, may or may not use that, so it is optional. Pronouns may or may not change, and verb tense changes. Example: the sales lady said that she sold more items than anyone else there. So there are major changes here in reported speech, particularly in pronoun, verb tense, and the use of the word that. Okay? So, the original statement or the direct speech form of this sentence was, the sales lady said, I sell more items than anyone else here. Here, when it was transformed into a reported speech, as you can see, no more quotation marks here. The pronoun I changed to she, which is the sales lady. The verb changed from simple present tense sell to simple past tense sold. The word here changed to there. The pronoun I changed to she since the statement here is already reworded or reported by another person. Another example. The sales lady said she sold more items than anyone else there. Here, I just want to show you a reported speech without the word that. So, we omitted the word that here, but still it is correct. Okay, with the same pronoun and the verb. There is no more quotation mark. The pronoun I changed to she. The verb changed from simple present tense to simple past tense. The word that was omitted. And the word here changed to there. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to show you that you can use, you may or may not use the word that in your reported speech. Moving on, another example. The manager said that she sold more items than anyone else there. So, she did not change here, since there was already another person, the manager, who introduced the word she. Okay? And that's it. However, it is not always the case. Some pronouns change depending on the perspective of the person reporting the direct speech. Okay? No more quotation mark. The pronoun she did not change. The verb changed from simple present tense to simple past tense, and the word here changed to there. Okay? Next, another example. The sales lady said that she had sold more items than anyone else there. Take note of the tense of the verb from past to past perfect. Okay, had sold. No more quotation mark. The pronoun I changed to she. The verb changed from simple past to past perfect tense. And the word here changed to there. Okay, another example. The manager said that she had sold more items than anyone else there. Okay, that's it. No more quotation mark. The pronoun she did not change. The verb changed from simple past to past perfect tense, and the word here changed to there. Later on, I am going to show you the table, the comparison among and between verbs, when to change the verb from direct speech to reported speech. Okay? Now, this is what I am talking about, how to change the verb tense from direct speech to reported speech. Here we go. So, we have two columns here, the direct speech and the reported speech, and under them we have sample verb tenses. We have the present tense and past tense under the direct speech, and past tense and past perfect tense under the reported speech. Okay, take note of this. When the verb is in the present tense in direct speech, once you transform them, or once you transform the verb into reported speech, that present tense will become past tense. Just like, for example, sell or sells. When you transformed the sentence or the verb to reported speech, it becomes sold. Okay? Same is true with drive or drives, it becomes drove. And play, plays, it will turn to the word or verb played. Okay? Moreover, if the verb in the direct speech is in its past tense, just like sold, drove, or played, okay, the moment you transform them to reported speech, those verbs must turn into past perfect tense. From sold to had sold, drove to had driven, played to had played. So here are more examples. Okay, so if the tense is in the present progressive, in the direct speech example, is or are writing, when it comes to reported speech, it will become was rather, or were writing. If the tense is in the past progressive, just like was, were dancing, it will become was or were dancing. Yeah, no change at all. If the tense is in the present perfect, just like has eaten, in the reported speech it becomes had eaten. If the tense is past perfect, just like had entered, in reported speech, nothing has changed. Okay, if the tense is future, just like will, in direct speech will play, in reported speech it becomes would play. If it is shall, example, shall go, in the reported speech it would transform into would go. Okay, so it is very obvious that if the verb is in the present tense under direct speech, okay, if you transform them, once you transform those present tense or present progressive verb tenses to reported speech, they would definitely be turned to past or past perfect. Okay? However, if the tense in the direct speech is already in the past or past perfect tense under direct speech, when you transform them to reported speech, nothing will change. Okay, they will retain their tenses. Moving on. If the statement, however, is a fact, the verb tense never changes. Direct speech, my teacher said Manila is the capital of the Philippines. Is the verb, which is in the simple present tense. And when you transform that sentence into a reported speech, my teacher said that Manila is the capital of the Philippines. The verb here is still is, which is still in the simple present tense. Again, if it is a fact, if the statement is a fact, the verb should not change. Okay. Now, how to change the pronoun from direct speech to reported speech? Okay. So here are the examples how to transform the pronoun from direct speech to reported speech. If it is I in direct speech, it becomes he or she in reported. If it is my, it turns to his or her. If it is his or her, still it is his or her. If it is you, okay, it could be he or she or they. If it is we, it could be we or they. If it is our, it could be our or their. If it is they, still, reported speech, it is they. If it is it becomes it or that. If it is your, it becomes my or his or her or their. And if it is he or she, it becomes he or she or you. Please take note of this, and as much as possible, you need to familiarize yourself with this, how to change the pronoun from direct speech to reported speech. It is very much important. Okay, one more thing. Change yes or no questions or yes no questions to if clause in reported speech. Example: the philosopher asked the student, "Do you believe in destiny?" Okay, the first statement is in the direct speech, and then we transform it to reported speech, which goes like this. The philosopher asked student if he believed in destiny. Again, if the question is answerable by yes or no in direct speech, and then if you're going to quote it, if you're going to transform it into a reported speech, use the word if. Okay? Clear. Moving on. Change WH questions from the inverted to the natural order. Okay, so when we say natural order, it means that we have the subject first and then followed by the verb. Okay, example, in direct speech, someone asks, "What does he want?" Transform into reported speech, someone asked what he wanted. Okay, in direct speech, we use the word does, the emphatic verb does. However, if you transform it into reported speech, the emphatic verb will be removed, and then the original form of the verb, the base form of the verb in direct speech will now become or will now turn into its past form when you transform it into into reported speech. Okay, again, drop or remove the emphatic word does or do or did, and transform the verb from present to its past form. Okay. Just like that. Now, how to change direct speech, which is a request, to reported speech? The formula is very simple. Okay? Use the word ask plus noun or pronoun plus to plus verb. Example, in direct request, the teacher said, please check your papers. Transformed to reported request, the teacher asked the students to check their papers. Again, we have the word ask, and then the noun or the pronoun, and then the word to, and then the verb, and then continue with your sentence. Okay, another one. She said, could you please lend me your eraser? She asked him to lend him his eraser. Okay. Here in this sentence, in the direct request, she said, could you please lend me your eraser? The subject here was dropped. And then you need to provide the subject, the missing subject, when you transform it into reported request. Okay. Next, the policeman uttered, please. Oh, that is please, not peace. Please. Typographical error. Okay, that is please. Remove your cap. The policeman asked to remove my cap. Okay, so the policeman is referring to me. So I enclose it me. So you is referring to me. Okay. Next, how to change direct speech, which is an order or a command to reported speech. The formula is just use the word told and then noun or pronoun plus to plus verb. Okay. Almost the same with the formula when transforming direct speech requests or request to reported speech request. All you have to do is, instead of using the word ask, use the word told. Just like with examples below. Direct command, the teacher said, be silent. In reported command, the teacher told the students to be silent. Okay, so here in the direct command, which is be silent, the teacher, we assume that the teacher was referring to the students. That's why when we transform the sentence into reported command, we use the word students. The teacher told the students to be silent. Okay, so the teacher must be referring to someone else, or someone in the classroom, or anyone who is being told to be silent. Okay, another example. She said, go away. In reported command, she told him to go away. Okay, and then the last statement, the policeman uttered, stop the car. Who is the policeman referring to stop the car? Okay, so you need to provide that someone who is being referred to in the direct command. It's like here in the third example, the policeman told who? Me, to stop the car. So it could be me, or it could be him, or it could be her, something like that. The policeman told him, or the policeman told her to stop the car. Okay, so next, okay, we're now here at the rapid test. The direction is, if the statement is in the direct speech, transform it to reported speech. If the statement is in the reported speech, transform it to direct speech. Are you ready? Okay, so here are the statements. Okay, and I am going to give you 2 minutes to answer the rapid test. Okay, and your timer starts now. And time is up. Now let's check your answers. Okay, so let's have the first 5. Okay, the first one is Martha tried her best to be the employee of the month. Andrew said. Okay, it is in the direct speech. So you need to transform that statement into a reported speech. Okay? We have Andrew said that Martha had tried her best to be the employee of the month. Okay? We use the word that and then the verb had tried. Past perfect. Had tried. Why? Because in the original sentence, okay, the verb tried is in the past tense. Okay, so remember the lesson. If the verb is in the past tense, transform past tense in the direct speech, you need to transform it into past participle when the sentence is transformed into reported speech. Okay, and then another answer rather. Andrew said Martha had tried her best to be the employee of the month. This time, I removed the word that. Okay? Moving on, number 2, the landlord said that his gardener had gone to work very early. So, the sentence is in the reported speech. Okay? So, you need to transform it into direct speech. And the answer is, the landlord said, comma, quotation mark, my gardener went to work very early, period, quotation mark. Okay, here the pronoun the pronoun from the original sentence. I mean the pronoun his from the original sentence was transformed into the pronoun my. Okay, and then the verb had gone, which is in the past perfect, was transformed into the verb went, which is in the simple past tense. Okay. Next, the fairy said, "Your wish is my command." Two answers again. The fairy said that her wish was her command. Okay, that her, so we changed the word or the pronoun you or your to her. So maybe the fairy was referring to a girl, which is her. So you can always, if your answer is his, it's still correct. Okay, it could be. Okay, so it's your choice if it is her or his. Okay, and then the past tense, which is in the present, the verb, which is in the present tense in your wish is my command. The verb is was transformed into the verb was. Okay, and then another answer, the fairy said her wish was her command. We just remove the word had. The word that. Okay. Next, the traffic enforcer shouted, "Go!" So remember our lesson. It is it's an order or a command. So all you have to do is to remember the formula. Okay, the verb told, and then the noun or the pronoun, and then the verb the word to plus verb. The traffic enforcer told the driver to go. That's it. As simple as that. Next, number 5. The aspiring candidate said that he had started building unity among parties. Okay? Change that to direct speech. The aspiring candidate said, quotation mark, I started building unity among parties, period. Close it ended with a quotation mark. Okay. Next, six, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. Number 6, my brother exclaimed, "I want to have ripped jeans." Two answers here. My brother exclaimed that he wanted to have ripped jeans. Okay. Next one, my brother exclaimed he wanted to have ripped jeans. Okay, so as you can notice, the pattern is just the same. Okay, moving on. Are you alright? Asked the stranger. This time, this is a statement answerable by yes or no. So remember the lesson. If it is answerable or if the statement is in the yes or no, change it, or when you change it into reported speech, use the word if. So the answer here is the stranger asked if he was alright. Why did I use the word was? Again, it is in the past tense because in the direct speech the verb was in its simple present tense, which is are. Okay, number 8. The student asked her classmate to fetch her early that day. Turn it into direct speech. The student said, "Could you please fetch me early today?" Okay. Number 9. Our teacher or our leader told us to be prepared at all times. Our leader yelled, quotation mark, be prepared at all times. At all times, okay? Since we use exclamation point here. And then the last one, I asked my best friend if he trusted me. The answer is, I asked my best friend, quotation mark, Do you trust me? And then question mark and then end it with